Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. As you can see, it's clay play day. So I figured since Valentine's Day is coming, I'm gonna do a video on making like a heart cane. And I kind of got things kind of a little conditioned and out, and here we go. I had to wipe my hands off with a baby wipe because dealing with white and red and black can be they stain your hand. So have a baby wipe near, or once you're done conditioning, wash your hands so it doesn't get in the white. I started my white. I always go light to dark first. So I started with my white, but when I went to pick it up to kind of get it on my clay tile here, got a little red on it. Before I start, I'm going to say I'm a chronically ill person. I have RA and fibro, chronic fatigue syndrome. Continue on, I could. I am not a professional. If you want professional videos, please go find classes that show you professional things. I'm just here to show you my way and things that I do, and I've gotten a lot of people who love my clay videos. So leave your nasty comments to yourself. Like I said, if you're not happy with my video, then go find a video that you like, or you know, another person, like somebody to take classes from. So that's all I'm going to say about that. So, as always, I have red clay. I know my camera's a little off of color, but it is red. And I gotta get my daughter in here because my color is off to me and my eyes, colorblind. Like, I mean, this is like red. Does it look red to you? I don't know. Okay. So I rolled out a red. I put it through my pasta machine, medium setting, and then rolled with my rolling pin. If you don't have a pasta machine and you don't have a roller, use a bottle of paint. Use your cooking spray bottle. I save those. I used to save those to roll out when I didn't have tools. Use whatever you have. You can warm up in your clay by, which I did with my red, because red was very hard to work with. This is all, by the way, Sculpey, which is a very inexpensive clay. It's what I grabbed to use today. But you can you know, take the clay out of the package, as much as you want, and hold it in your hand for a while so it gets warm. It's warm in my room anyway. I should have conditioned last night and didn't. I buy big packages of white Sculpey because I like to make dolls and such. So this was a big, humongous block, like out to here. So that's one thing you can do. And use a coupon, and then you have white and you can paint it whatever you want. So, and as always, any questions, you can message me below, message me on YouTube. You go to your video manager on your main YouTube page, you go to community, and then on the side, you'll see inbox, and then you can message me. So I rolled out red and I rolled out my white, and I have a white chunk. So I'm going to roll my red. Now remember, to prevent sticking, have a water bottle near it because it helps greatly. You can spray your base, your clay, anything, your hands. It just helps with sticking. Now my clay is falling apart here a little bit because my red was just being a little bit of a pain, but I don't care. So I'm going to roll this over, trying to keep my oval shape. And you know I'm not really good with my shapes, but I'm giving you the idea of what to do so then you can be good at it and know what to do. And that's why I do this. I've gotten so many wonderful messages from people. Now, I rolled it to where I wanted it. Now, if you roll back, you can see the line. You can't see it on the video recorder that I'm doing right now, but you can kind of see the line where you're going to overlap, like where you should really have your end, you know, your end at. And that is perfect right there. I'm going to show you. Maybe I'll bring you in a little bit just so you can see a little bit better while I'm doing this. Okay. And I'll look up every once in a while. Now, I want you to see I have a crack. No big deal. You just push them together, the part together with your hands, and take your finger and kind of rub it over. And just keep working it. It'll take a minute, but it'll seal up. Give it a little pinch. And as you roll, it'll seal up. Now I'm taking my ends. Can you see my ends? Kind of hard to see because of the color. Oh, it did focus there. I didn't think it was going to. See? There we go, our ends. And I'm just going to take my finger and I'm going to rub it. And I'm getting cracks and it's okay. I'm going to wet my finger. It's not because it's this red clay. I don't exactly know what's up with it. I just bought a bunch, but sometimes it just doesn't. I mean, I've conditioned the crap out of it. Sometimes it just doesn't work for you. So I don't give up on it because I spend a lot of time conditioning it. But I'm just going to kind of continue, and that little crack just wants to keep coming back. And you can also take a little piece of clay that you might have sitting, squish it out with your hands. This is much easier to condition because it's small. And push it in your hands, set it on that crack, and then just kind of smooth it from there. And that'll cover that crack. And then you just smooth that on. All right. Now I'm going to work on my seam, and I'm doing the same thing with my finger, just kind of rubbing it. Don't worry if your white pops out a little bit like that. It's okay. If you click my name right now on this video, now you can also, this is a good way to do it too, is just roll on your, this is an old tile I have. You can use your mat. You can use a piece of glass. You can use a, like from a picture frame. Some people use picture frames with the glass in it. It doesn't matter. But you can just roll. And like I said, if you wet it a little bit, it won't stick. You don't have to worry. I know a lot of people write me and they worry like, oh, it's stuck and it tore a little bit. It's okay. Clay is so forgiving. And like I said, it was one of my first things I ever learned to do. Now I'm pushing it back a little bit, just with a little bit of pressure to get it back into that form that I want it. I'm not worrying about the ends coming out or what they look like right now. And I'll explain why in a minute. But we want this to stay round. Now, I'm going to just kind of keep rolling on that seam a little bit. But I don't want to thin out my cane as what we're doing, but I don't want to thin that out. I just want that seam to just smooth out. And it might tear in different places, and it's okay. You just keep pushing back in. And I do these videos to show people who have chronic illnesses like me, and there are many, many, many chronic illnesses and many, many people who follow me who have them, that you don't have to be perfect, and it's not going to be perfect. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe yours are. Maybe maybe you can make them perfect. I don't believe in perfection. I've mentioned that in all my mixed media, in my clay, in my art journaling, and everything I do. I don't believe in perfection. I just believe in doing. And the fact that so many people make classes and sell them and then show their little, I'll probably get a lot of shit for this, and then show their little videos on the YouTube and we watch them. And there's poor people who are on disability and SSI or with D or whatever you're on. SSIs know, people know that you don't get what SSD people get in financial help. But in most states, some states do. Most don't. You know, you watch them and yeah, they can edit really well and they don't show their mistakes and it makes you feel like an asshole. Like, why can't I do that? They make it look so easy. Well, yeah, because they edit out the crap that they screwed up. Now, I like some people, and I'm not going into names and this and that, but some people have shown on the end of whether it be one of their YouTube. Now, this red must be old. The store, and that happens. You can buy clay from the store and it just be old. So I'm just working it like this. And I'm going to just take my roller here and roll this out. It is just not, and I want it to be in a ball. I mean, in a round thing, but it's just not working today. So I'm going to really ignore these cracks, and we're just going to get to the getting, because this red's really bothering me. So I'm just going to roll it into my oval that I want it, my circle that I want it to be in. But some people will show, and you see how that went right back into a circle. Not a big deal. This is not going to be, like I said, perfect. It's going to, you know, I conditioned that red clay like crazy. I'm just mushing it up some more, not worrying. So I'm going to use my hands. I want it to be in a circle position. And you can see that bottom's really saying, yeah, I'm not doing that for you today, girl. And I just don't get why, but it's just not. Don't you hate that? So that's going to go into the crap pile, or I'll try conditioning it more. I mean, I don't know how much more I can condition it. Okay, so let's just say, here we are. But for you, yours is not falling apart on the bottom like mine. And we're going to just pinch it a little bit, and we're going to make this into a circle, because we want that middle to be a circle. And it takes a while. It's not going to, you know, magically just be a circle. Especially the more I played with it. Because of the red, it might distort it. But I'm going to show you how to make these so you can make them yourself. And if you want to use paper clay or an air dry clay, you can color them a little bit with acrylic paints, or look up the brand that you have and see how they suggest you color it. You don't have to color it all. You can just kind of do what I'm doing in a sense. And then you'll have the same thing. Okay, so we're just going to leave this bad boy here. I'm going to try to get it as circular as possible, back to circular as possible, now that I've really, I'm not worrying about my edges. Now see, you can see on my clay, I've been working it and it has not changed what it's doing to me. So this means that this clay is probably old, and it was a brand new package I just opened. Unfortunately, that happens sometimes when you buy clay at the stores. I've never, you know, I've had that happen a couple times, but I mean, you can really see. And I've been working it. And this is like as soft as can be, as butter. And this is the kind of butter you want when you want to make like homemade chocolate chip cookies. And I'm rolling it, and it's just not. So I'm just trying to get it into the circle. And let's move on. Okay, so we got it in a circle. The best I can with what I'm working with. You will do better. You get the idea. Now, I'm going to cut it in half, because I think it's easier for us. Now, understand, this is warm because I've been working it and I'm under the lights. But, now, okay, now let me show you something. Do you see this? How the red went in there because of the creases? That's not necessarily what we want to happen. But I'm not going to have a choice in the matter, because it's already in there. But I'm going to work with it, but let's pretend that it's not there. But for some reason, because this clay is old, which I guess this is a good video, because then you can at least know, you know, what happens when your clay is old. It just won't seal up. It won't heal. It just keeps cracking no matter what I do to it. So, okay, so we have our round. We want them round. That's our one round. And you can see it happened here again. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. I'm still going to show you how I do it, what I'm doing. But it's not being very cooperative. Okay, so we have two pieces. Ignore the little red boopy in the middle because that's not supposed to be there. However, I'm going to try to make it work for us. I'm going to take that part and I'm going to pinch this very lightly. Okay, can you see? I'm going to pinch this down because I want a triangle end there, like a pointy end. And now my clay is wicked soft because of me working with it so hard, trying to condition it, and it's just not working. Sometimes it happens. I mean, sometimes you just can't help it. But it's okay. Like I said, I'm going to show you the basics. You know, I love doing that. And I love talking, so what is better than that? And like I said, it'll just show you, like, you know, when you're working with something and getting frustrated, maybe this is what you came across is a piece of old clay that you bought at the store. You don't know what they do and how long it's been there, and it could have been in a truck with, okay, so this is kind of what we want to end up with, okay? Now, I made the red work for me, but what I'm going to do is just set it on my, you know, whatever I'm working on, and I'm just going to give it a quick push because I want it to be a little bit shorter. But don't lose that pinch, that edge. Okay, so that's number one. Let's go on to number two. And I'm going to pinch and pinch and pinch. And this is the one that has all that bottom part that won't stop. You can even see it coming through. Move back this way a little bit. And I'm just going to pinch it and give it a little bit of a smoothing. A little bit of a smoothing. And I'm going to push it down. Just to shrink that up a little bit. Now you'll notice as you're pushing down, you're like where you kind of had those ends right here, like the little fishy ends, like the little fish tails, kind of get a little distorted and much. Now, we're about the same. I think I might trim these because they did become a bit much. And I'm just going to take off the end. And then I'm going to just seal it up again and pinch it a little bit more. And save these pieces because these are great insides for beads when you make outsides or canes or whatever. So just, I throw that in the pile. And look, it already made like a really cool looking bead. No big deal. So I'm just going to kind of just pinch it a little bit more on camera. Maybe Kelly would be great. And don't worry too much about that back side because that's getting cut off. And just give it like a little pinch. Okay, so now we're going to put these together. And I'm going to put these together like this. And squeeze them together. And squeeze those bottoms together. Okay, you see how you do that? And then take these and you want to make sure they're together. And kind of, you want to leave this little space open for a minute, and I'm going to tell you why. But especially up in here. Because, and we're going to set this down now. You see how this is? We're still kind of separated right there until we get to that point. And you can see, and this is what's great because, you know, every heart you draw is not the same. So this is just going to be a different type, you know, this is going to be something different. But, so let's just set this aside for a second. And I'm going to get some black that I worked. And I want a thin piece of it. So, that'll go this side right now. Because what I want is, let's see. I want my black to go in here. So what I want to do, and I think I'm going to use these, is I'm going to roll these in a ball in black. And I waited to do this till I was on camera, because a lot of times I have like a lot of things done beforehand and people write me and say, oh, but I didn't see how you made it. So, you know, I'm just working this in my hands, and I'm going to put this out. This might even be too big. And I'm going to kind of roll this out just like a snake and get it as big as that is inside. Kind of push it. If you just push it with your hands, you see how it shrinks up. Like a man in cold water. Okay. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch this on top. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Just the ends. We're making another triangle. And we're going to open this up and we're going to set that in there. Now I might want this a little bit skinnier and longer, so I'm just going to pinch it a little bit more. And set that down to get that flat. Work with my hands for a minute. Ends I'm not worried about. Lift it up. Take our heart. And we're going to set this in the middle. And we're going to close it. And what this is going to do, now I'm going to cut that extra black off. And that might be a little too deep, so you just take it back out because we didn't blend it in yet, so it shouldn't, you shouldn't have no problem with it sticking. I just want it like that. Can you see? Just so it keeps that top separated. And that'll go into the back like that too. Okay. I know, it looks like a hot mess right now. And then just kind of push it in. And then I'm going to cut that extra part off the back. That way I can use that black later. Give it a little push. Now, this is what my back looks like. Not really good, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. Okay, so we have this. Now we're going to cover our heart with, and I can see, because it's so warm in here, things are like kind of being a little mushy. That's okay. But you see where we're heading. We're going to reduce it, so it's okay. So now let's make like an outside type thing. So we'll take some silver, and I'm going to get it into, I'm going to move this out of the way for a moment, and I'm going to get my silver in my thing. And I'm going to roll it. I like to roll one way, pick it up, roll it another. If you find it sticking, spray everything with a little bit of water. No harm. And I'm just going to roll this into like a sort of a square. I'll cut everything to match when I'm done. I'm going to do silver. I'm going to set that over there for a minute. I'm going to do some of the white, and maybe I'll just use this piece. I roll it, I lift it up. It's like dough to me. Now this is a little sticky because, like I said, I was working a lot. I got a little piece of silver in there because I just put it in there because I picked it up thinking it was white. Not looking. I'm gonna pull that out, throw it in the garbage. Okay, and then just roll. Turn it and roll. And I might need a little bit more in here. Boy, the white is sticking. Like, I can't even think. Why so much stickiness? Come on, baby, roll for mommy. I don't want to put you in the pasta machine because I already had black in there and all the dark colors. Spraying everything. Now, in between all of these parts, okay, in between me doing every step, which means the white with the red around it, you put it in the freezer for 5 minutes or so. Every different step we do, you go and then put it back in the freezer. I'm in my room, I'm recording. I'm not going to be running back and forth to the freezer. But that'll save you a lot of heartache and a lot of this stickiness and smushing things that, like, you'll see, you know, how easy my, you know, my stuff will smush together because of the heat in here. And me over, you know, conditioning everything and this and that and the other. So I'm just kind of making it square for right now. I'm not going to, I'll worry about the other one after. And then my black, I'm going to need one more black. And you can see, like, on my thing, I got color. So you just take a rag or a baby wipe or whatever and just kind of wipe it off. And then just get this rolled out. That's sticky too. All right. So right now what I'm going to do is just kind of do my best to move this for a minute. Straighten it up the best I can. Put my pieces over there because I can cut it again once I stack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my silver and I'm going to cut it down to a square. And then I'll take all that because you want to save this. This is going to be good, and put it in my silver pile, which is over there. So we have our silver. All right, and that'll go first. Then I'm going to put my black. Put that in my black pile. Here's my silver. I'm going to lay my black on it. You want to cover all the silver, but don't worry if it's, you know, don't worry if it doesn't cover all of it, because we're going to fix that. It doesn't matter. Then I'm going to put my white, which I can tell is going to be, if I set it right here, it's going to be a little bit too big, so why go through all the hassle? I'm just going to cut some of that off, put it with the white, stick it on here. Try to lay it as flat as you can, and if you see a little bit of air bubble, just give it a tap. And then I'm going to lay one more thing of black that I had already had rolled out. Okay. And you can see that's a little bit too short. It's a little thick, so I'm just going to move this for one moment and roll this out this way once. Or have it stick on me, roll it this way, okay. God, I hate when it's, in the summer it's humid and hot, and then in the winter you got your heat on, so you can't win for losing. Maybe I'll put my fan on. Will that help? You'll see things blowing away. Okay, so I thinned it out a little bit. I'll put the thinnest part up here. But I think I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to lay the black on here. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to push it. So I laid that last black on the silver part, or whatever color you choose to do. And give it a little push. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife and I'm just going to even everything out. So I'll pull those off. Just a little bit of the edge ends. Okay, and now I'm going to stop and I'm going to make part 2 so you guys aren't sitting here for hours upon hours watching me and in their long videos. So we're going to stop at this point and then I will start up again with part 2. As always, be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting, and make sure you stay and look for part 2 coming up. Thank you guys.